There's usually always something going on between celebrities, whether it be a nasty rumor or a controversy. And recently, Cuban Link has come out with documents accusing Fat Joe of snitching on multiple gang members. In today's video, we're going to discuss what happened that led to Fat Joe being exposed on snitching charges, according to Cuban Link. Former Terror Squad rapper Cuban Link and Fat Joe are known to have had a long and rather ugly history with each other. They just don't seem to get along, and have traded several shots at one another over the years, and it seems as though the beef continues, as Cuban Link took to social media on August 25th with a number of posts regarding Fat Joe talking to police back in the day when he was hustling in the Bronx. The posts, which were put up on Instagram, revealed Fat Joe's real name as Joseph Antonio Cartagena. The first post out of the multiple that was shared with a news broadcast by veteran radio personality Star on his YouTube show The Star Report, on which he spoke about paperwork that he had received of claims that Fat Joe had snitched. Fat Joe exposed on snitching charges, Cuban Link wrote in the caption, "Big shout out to Star for reporting the truth and keeping it 100% across the board. Now you might understand why I couldn't get along with that animal, but I guess let's wait for the authenticity of this paperwork here." Then, in the second post, it includes a clearer look at the alleged paperwork that claims that Mr. Cartagena, aka Joey Crack, had snitched on a few gangbangers. Also, according to the report, Fat Joe had revealed to the police that he had sold crack cocaine on Union Avenue in the Bronx, and also stated that, as a favor for a local street crew, a man named Markeo Stroud had killed someone called Truth. The report then went on to explain that Fat Joe had also stated that Shroud and two other men named Fat Chino and Shorty had put their plan together. The Terror Squad captain allegedly even went as far to reveal the names of multiple other men who had committed murders that were related to the initial crime. Along with his posts, Cuban Link added a caption that read, "I'm just gonna sit back and watch the pale beluga whale get brought to the shore by the rest of the fishermen." In addition to everything, Link has also revealed how Fat Joe got the name Joey Crack when he posted a document that was stamped government exhibit, which explained that Joey had got the name because he used to sell crack on Union Avenue. Although Cuban Link has faith in the documents, some fans don't quite believe the credibility of the document. The reasoning being that if such documents existed of Fat Joe, then his former nemesis 50 Cent would have already found and used them against the rapper when they previously had beef a few years back. Finally, after a while of waiting, Cuban Link got a response from Fat Joe reacting to the snitching allegations. The rapper made the suggestion that rather than having hard facts, Cuban Link is just a hater and is spreading lies. Addressing the allegations on August 27th on an Instagram Live, Fat Joe described the paperwork provided by Cuban Link as the most fabricated in all mankind, adding Joey Crack and Don has never been a rat in his life, has never told on a person in his life, he explained. "I'd kill myself before I tell on anyone. Let's be clear about that. Whether you know it or not, I'm at another level in my life. I've worked very, very hard to get where I'm at," Joe said. "So I have friends, the biggest in the world, the biggest in the game, hitting me up like, 'Yo, Joe, don't respond to these people. You're bigger than that. They're trying to bring you down,'" he continued. "Mind you, I'm in Hermes. Today's about love or hate. Now, we call people haters, but are they really haters? Or do they hate those people?" Following that, he directly addressed the so-called proof, claiming that this is the most fabricated false paperwork I have ever seen in the history of mankind. "This is disgusting. Those guys on that paperwork, I don't know them. They don't know me. So you put a little whiteout on a piece of paper and you write Joseph Cartagena's name," he said. "And you guys break my heart if you fall for that. You guys are disgusting, because I'm the one guy who's successful and still walks these streets," he continued, adding, "Now those names you see on there are actual people. Those people really went to jail for 20 years. You guys and your friends were locked up with them. You never heard Fat Joe ever talk. They don't even know me. These guys on that paper, I never met them. They don't know me." Along with discussing the released documents head-on, Fat Joe proposed that Cuban Link is just washed up, jealous of him, and wanted to see him get knocked down. After this, he went on to further explain his claim, stating that people tend to get jealous of other people who are successful and usually don't wish more success upon them. However, Fat Joe reassured fans that he was and is in no way like that, as he reminded them that he too comes from humble beginnings in New York, stating, "Now Fat Joe, I come from the projects like you," he said. "I come from welfare like you. I come from the streets like you. And so when I show that we're in the plane and we're having a great time, it's only used for inspiration. It's used to inspire you to win." After Link's claims against Joe on Instagram and the Star Report's video on YouTube of him being a snitch Snitch surfaced, Joe made sure to let fans and everyone else know that he is not a snitch and has never been a rat in his life. Nonetheless, both parties have shared their side of the story and their own point of view. So now, we just have to wait for Link, as he is yet to respond to Joe's latest response. Of course, as many of you may know, this beef made from the allegations is not the first time the two have gone at each other. The most recent quarrel happened back in April of this year when Link called out Fat Joe for skipping out on rapper Big Pun's street naming ceremony. Earlier this year, in March, 21 years after his unfortunate death, one of Fat Joe's friends, rap icon Big Pun, was honored with his own intersection, named Big Pun Plaza, which is located at Fordham Road and Grand Concourse in his home borough of the Bronx. Numerous friends and associates of the late OG Terror Squad member attended the street naming ceremony, all except for Fat Joe, who made the rather controversial choice to not attend. Shortly after the ceremony, Fat Joe went on Instagram Live to give a complete explanation on why he decided to skip out on the event, listing issues he had with some of the others who attended. "I could not go over there because there were people over there that I just ain't feeling, and I ain't never gonna feel," he explained. Later, Cuban Link came out with a response to Joe, stating that Joe was mainly referring to him and members of Pun's family in his statements. Along with his response and complaint to Fat Joe, Cuban Link also expressed how disappointed he was that the event didn't receive more airtime, especially considering how beautiful it was. As far as him talking about he will never stand next to us, when I say us, those are the names I just dropped, you know everybody that came for Pun. Listen, it's never been about that, Link stated. He says Pun was his twin, and he says prayers to Pun. Pun has been gone for 20 years, so his prayers, you don't usually use the word prayer to people like that who've been gone already. Continuing on, he then questioned Fat Joe as to what he has done, if anything, to honor Big Pun since he passed away back in 2000, adding, "Another thing is if you love Pun, then you say you love Pun. Usually love has a trail of actual physical attributes or things that you have done for him. So if you love Pun, what you've done for him. I want to know. We all want to know since you love him. I want to see what things in his name have you fought for." Cuban Link then came at Joe again by explaining that the street named after Pun could have come sooner if Joe had used his connections with politicians. "For a street to be named after Pun was actually something I would have expected you to take control of and made happen way back," Link went on. However, after all he said, he concluded his speech by telling Joe that the feeling was mutual. "You don't have to be worrying about standing next to us or to me if you don't want to. I wouldn't want that either," he said, adding, "I understand. When you stand next to the truth, it's difficult. It's difficult to face the truth, and I understand that's why you don't want to do it. You teach your people and your family not to stand next to us because it's gonna feel different because when the truth is the truth, lies can't stand next to them." With that said, that's going to wrap up this video. Thanks for watching.